Let's start off with a joke. What do you get when you cross a super geeky pharmacist with a ultra type A personality chamber director and 5 amateur videographers? Welcome everybody! This is the Brandon Valley Chamber of Commerce Milestone Luncheon. I'm holding for applause. It should just be hitting its peak of applause right now. Now slowly dying away. Okay. Hi, I am Tom Wolstein, Chairman of the Board 2014 for the Brandon Valley Chamber of Commerce. Hosting with me today will be Kim Serwick, the President, CEO, and many other initials of the Brandon Valley Chamber of Commerce, and also Brandon Lane and whatever it is he does. Kim approached me last month and said, "Tom, your pharmacy degree must have some video editing component to it. Would you like to make a video for the Milestone Luncheon?" She said there was a huge budget for the video, so I said, sure, why not? I'll give it a try. I am recording this right now after already having finished most of it, and it's a doozy. This video is about 45 minutes long, but remember it is replacing the normal presentation that would be happening during your dinner. Please remember, these were recorded by volunteers. Please don't be offended if your name was mispronounced. Kim will send you an apology letter in the mail. Well, here we go. Let's get started with the first milestone. 5 years. Haha, fancy, right? Let's have Kim start us off with the first 5-year anniversary.
Ridgeview Place Apartments, owned by Ty and Aaron Dahl. They have maintained an annual occupancy rate of 95% for the past 4 years. Their average length of resident is 3 years and 1 month. They have 12 former residents that have purchased homes and are now living in Brandon. And they do buy Brandon whenever possible.
Dawn Rogiers, Keller Williams Realty. Her real estate team consists of herself and her son, Cody Myers, and they're both broker associates. She likes being a part of the local market center that received national recognitions last year for growth and business. Attended the national training events to help her serve her clients better. And she has now launched her real estate team with plans to grow.
Horizon Pet Care, owned by Dr. Dick Rogan and Dr. Mark Braunschmidt. They have grown quite a bit in the last 5 years. They have 11 full-time employees, 7 part-time employees, and they have 38 clinics that refer to them.
Committee volunteers Diana Nelson and Karen Kopel met up with Dr. Dick Rogan to learn more about his practice.
Hi, I'm Karen Kopel with the Chamber, and today we're interviewing Dr. Rogan from Horizon Pet Care. So, Dr. Rogan, how long have you been a vet?
28 years.
Wow.
So I'm getting old.
And what made you want to become a vet?
I grew up in the country, and it was always my job to help take care of the animals. And I had the smallest hands because I was the youngest, so I got stuck doing the dirty jobs.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes we like to do this with our clients.
Oh.
They might take offense to that.
This might also help you with any itching you may have. What's the strangest pet that you've had come into the clinic or that you've seen in your career?
People are fairly strange, so I've seen spiders and snakes and a mountain lion and a bear.
Really?
Yeah.
In town, or were you
Not
when
I lived in Brandon. The mountain lion and the bear have stayed away, so that's good.
Where have you practiced?
Boise, Idaho, Pipestone, Minnesota, Sioux Falls, and now here.
Okay. Dr. Rogan, how do you milk a cat?
Small fingers.
Have you ever been bitten by a dog? I'm sure you have.
Where?
Where and when? How many times?
Too many times, and it never feels good.
Yeah.
I don't know how many human doctors get bit by their patients, but it seems to be a common thing for us. So.
Yeah. What do you do at a routine exam?
We look at everything from their nose to their teeth to their ears. We listen to their heart, feel their abdomen for irregularities. Kind of just like you getting a normal physical.
What is the strangest thing a dog or cat has ingested that you've had to remove?
We took 5 lug nuts from a dump truck out of a dog's stomach 3 years ago. They ate cell phones. underwear is real common, and I got into trouble because I told a gal that it was a big pair that I pulled out of her stomach. And never do that to a lady. I'll learn someday.
Thanks, ladies. That was great. Let's get back to the 5-year anniversaries.
AJ Spiritwear, owner Abby Wickersham.
Prairie Sons Incorporated. Owner Frank Howe and his beautiful wife, Joy Howe, is the vice president.
Make Design Studio, owner is Donna May. Her accomplishments is creating strong relationships, helping clients determine what makes them different, and developing a strong brand identity. Strong brand personality is critical because it shapes how a consumer feels about your brand, even if they don't consciously know it. From the moment they interact with the brand identity, their feelings about a brand are solidified, even subconsciously. These feelings often stay with the consumer throughout their entire life.
Teco Property Maintenance and Rentals, owned by Troy and Echo Sabers. Teco has had a very low vacancy rate and offer quality home-style living. Current and previous tenants have complimented them on their responsiveness and maintenance of their properties.
Chris Gustafson, Aflac. Chris Gustafson would like to recognize himself and his wife as his business partner. With any business ownership, it requires hard work and lots of hours. Therefore, her flexibility and willingness to accommodate is unmeasurable and a great asset. His accomplishments: since he stepped into this, he has made a goal to treat every client the same. I learned early in life never to judge a book by its cover. By placing my policyholders at the top of my list has allowed me to continuously increase my production 6 straight years, along with continuing to receive and execute producing award from year to year. I take pride in how Aflac products have helped people out every day in an unfortunate time in their life.
Heartland Funeral Home and Cremation Services, owner Twinkle, Todd Winkle. Kim Serwick and I met up with Todd out at Heartland Funeral Home and Cremation Services to see a little bit more about his 5-year celebration.
Well, thank you so much for having us at your establishment. 5 years. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Is it true that the first 5 years is the hardest?
I don't know about the rest of the years after 5, but the first 5 have been difficult.
Why do you think it is that most businesses have a hard time in their first 5 years?
I think the biggest challenge that a new business faces is getting public to recognize they're there and the services that they provide, knowing everything that they can do for that public consumer.
What are your plans or goals for the next 5 years?
I plan to, over the next 5 years, continue to do what I have been doing since it's been successful. Staying local and being a part of the community of Brandon has been the biggest success for me.
So why did you originally choose to put your business in Brandon?
Just because the community here was very loyal to its businesses, I decided that it would be a good place to actually start a business and to start the growth of our family funeral home.
Whoa, that was dramatic. Let's learn about our 10-year businesses.
Extremely Clean is owned by Glenn Alderson.
Split Rock Chiropractic Center, owners Dr. Ben and Tara Simonson. Chiropractic care is more than just making the pain disappear. It's about learning, understanding, and taking care of your body to improve your quality of life. We aim to educate our patients about chiropractic and other natural solutions to common health problems in order to motivate them to take a more active and responsible role in restoring and maintaining their own health as well as the people around them. We continue to help families in the community function at their greatest potential.
Brandon First Stop, owned by Ann Evangelisto.
Barb Fish, Securities America, Inc. Owner, Barb Fish. Her accomplishments: for 27 years, I have helped clients retire comfortably, put children through college, and save for lake homes and campers. My goal is to treat my clients like family and give them choices that make sense for their situation. I am a certified financial planner and chartered mutual fund counselor. I have a business degree from the University of South Dakota, am president of the chamber, am a member of the Brandon City Council, and love calling Brandon home. We have 2 children. One is an investment banker in Minneapolis, and one is a senior accounting major at USD. I have been married to Gary for 31 years. Go Yotes.
J&M Sasker Incorporated, owned by Jeff Sasker.
Harry Buck, Hague Town and Country Realtors. Is Harry Buck really still out in this town? Even after what happened at the parade last year? Really? Huh. Alright. The real estate business has been very good to me over the last 10 years. I contribute most of the success to having 2 great partners in Pam Miller and Miriam Hackler. As a team, we take pride in helping families find just the right home or sell their home when it's time to move. We also have been fortunate to do some commercial and agricultural real estate business in this area. I've always said if you're going to be in the real estate business, Brandon, South Dakota is a great place to be. We have represented over $7 million worth of real estate this past year with almost 40 transactions.
Northwest Tire Incorporated, owned by Mike Schatz.
Chirosport. Dr. Ross McDaniel is the founder of Chirosport PC, with special thanks to Dr. Chandra Burnham, Dr. Jason Henry, Dr. Chris Mickelson, and the world's best staff. We should also like to thank our wonderful patients in the community of Brandon, along with the Brandon Valley Chamber of Commerce, for supporting us and helping us grow to what we are today. Their accomplishments: 10 plus years of service in the community of Brandon, expansion to 2 locations, expansion to 4 doctors and 13 employees, 2 new commercial buildings with almost 9,000 square foot to better serve our patients, and also the hiring of Miss South Dakota, Chandra Burnham.
While we're figuring out if Brandon just had a seizure, let's meet up for a pun-filled interview with Dr. Ross.
So, Dr. Ross, why did you want to become a chiropractor?
Well, minus the fact that I feel like the Wizard of Oz is standing behind the curtain talking to me. My initial reason for becoming a chiropractor was just literally to help people.
Okay. Is being a chiropractor everything it's cracked up to be?
It's actually more. Minus the gas that people pass when you adjust them, it's better than what I would have ever expected, and we really enjoy treating our patients here at Chirosport.
What kind of reaction do you normally have when that happens?
The gas or the adjusting patients?
Both.
Outside of the blushing, I would say that treating patients is the greatest reward that we have here. Being part of the wonderful healthcare community here in Brandon is it's an honor, and we're very thankful for our patients and the ability to serve them here in Brandon.
What made you decide to open a practice in Brandon?
Brandon was a thriving community before we got here in 2004. It's only continued to grow, and that thriving, flourishing community then and now is the primary reason that I decided to open up the doors in 2004.
Most people know you're a huge Hawkeye fan, right?
Go Hawkeyes! Big Iowa Hawkeye fan.
So I've got a joke for you if you're up for it.
Oh, here we go.
How many freshman Hawkeyes does it take to change a light bulb?
1. It just takes them 100 times to do it.
Actually, the answer is none because it's a sophomore course.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
What kind of services do you offer besides chiropractic care?
We offer acupuncture, massage therapy, nutritional counseling, and a lot of rehabilitation and sports medicine type services.
I heard you shouldn't trust people that do acupuncture because they might be backstabbers. What do you think of that?
Well, I would believe in that. I actually don't do acupuncture, so you can trust me. But Dr. Chandra, our new associate doctor, wouldn't trust her farther than I could throw her.
That seemed like a fun group. Speaking of fun groups, let's get back to the 10-year award winners.
Wells Fargo Bank, Branch Manager, Keisha McAllister.
The Ultimate Touch Therapeutic Massage. Cindy Berkeley is the owner, and her accomplishments are: her client base consists of people in Brandon and the surrounding area. I have truly enjoyed being a member of the Brandon community and the Chamber, as it has given me the opportunity to volunteer at various events throughout the last decade. to help build my practice and stay in tune with my community. Thanks to all who have walked through my door and believe in me.
Shoppert's Piano Gallery. President, Cindy Shoppert. Owner and sales manager, the best looking pianist in town, J Trip. Stop laughing. Have you ever seen him? He's breathtaking. Look at him. Go ahead. Alright. I personally have been in the piano business for the last 18 years. And in 2008, my wife and I moved our family back to Brandon to be closer to family and be part of this growing community in which I grew up. I have literally tried reading this for 5 minutes and I keep messing up. In 2010, Scott and Cindy Shoppert purchased the Sioux Falls piano division from Schmidt Music, who I worked for, and I was brought on as a business partner at that time. Sadly, in 2012, Scott passed away after a courageous battle with cancer. We work every day to provide quality pianos and service to our customers while continuing Scott's dream of making sure people knew that Shoppert's Piano Gallery is the place to go for their piano needs. We have been blessed with being the authorized dealer for the world-class Steinway & Sons family of pianos, which is Steinway, Boston, and Essex. I have had the pleasure to visit the Steinway & Sons factory twice in the last 4 years, and last year was one of the 13 salespeople in the US and Canada that earned a trip to Hamamatsu, Japan for Kaiway's 50th anniversary celebration. My wife and I were honored at the factory and spent 8 amazing days traveling around Tokyo, Hamamatsu, Mount Fuji, and many other locations. That one took me a long time.
Kinetic Co., the owner is Julene Edwards, but accepting on her behalf is Chris Paddock, who oversees the service department.
Pat Bicey, Keller Williams Realty.
Constant Rock Art, owner Sharon Constant. BJM Enterprises, owner BJ Jansma.
Wild Prairie Winery, owned by Victoria and Jeff Wild. They started in their basement of their house and have moved into the old dairy barn on their property. They have won several international wine competition awards. They will be celebrating their 10-year anniversary with a Harvest Festival October 4th.
There's no budget? At all? For the whole thing? Who's paying for the intro graphics? Doot doot doot. 15 years. Doot 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 doot.
Jensen Electric, owned by Ron Jensen.
Jebro Inc., owner Noel Schultz.
The Brandon Historical Society. Board members Jeremy Risty is the president. Vice president is Deborah Rothenberger. Treasurer Howard Brown. And secretary Virginia Poppenfuss. The Brandon Historical Society is proud to preserve and transmit the rich history and culture of the Brandon area. They strive to tell the story of our beautiful community through artifacts, letters, and other primary sources. They hope to continue to serve the Brandon area communities with the help of their fellow dedicated citizens for years to come.
Living Springs Church, interim lead pastor, Mike Haleen.
Casey's General Store, managed by Pam Johnson.
MedStar Paramedic, owner, Jay Major.
Brandon Valley Fine Arts Booster. Fine Arts Boosters would like to recognize the parents of fine arts students who volunteer their time and effort, their accomplishments. They distribute scholarships, provide support and services for concerts, recitals, and group trips. They also provide funding for equipment and other items to enhance the students' practice and performance efforts, which the school district can't fulfill.
Midwest Railcar Repair, owner, Greg Carmen.
Anthony Simmonsma, Edward Jones. Oh, and for accomplishments, he wanted to just recognize Brian Wills, who joined the team this year.
I met up with Anthony at his Brandon location. How do you say your name?
Simmonsma.
Is it Anthony? Is that
Anthony Simmonsma. We're talking about the Milestone luncheon.
Yes.
And pretty excited about it because we are 15 years in the Brandon community.
That was going to be one of my questions. And how old are you? Where do you see your business in 5 years when you're getting your 20-year award?
Honestly, I hope that, our plans, our goals are to be doing exactly what we're doing now, is maybe within that time frame, we'll have a third financial advisor kicking off in Brandon. We've got a second one that is getting going and is doing fantastic. So, and with our business, we just continue to help and continue to want to help the long-term individual investor.
So, besides your own, what is your favorite business in Brandon?
Well, I got to be honest. It's really tough to pick them out because we have so many good businesses.
Which is better, an American dollar or Canadian dollar?
It's about equal right now. It's about half and half. I mean, it's same, pretty much. I think Canadians might have us on just by a couple of pennies.
If I gave you $1 million and let you work it for 100 years, how much money would I have?
$1 million. Well, that's the old adage, right? How do you make $1 million? Well, first, you start with $1 million, and then, well, if you take, I don't know, the rule of 72 and go 100 years, we can do it real quick.
Oh, use your fancy calculators.
I got a fancy calculator.
Oh,
it's a green screen of death here. $2 billion. So if you can give me $1 million.
I wasn't paying real close attention, but I think Anthony said I had $2 billion. I'll go ahead and take care of this next intro graphic. These next businesses have been around for 20 or more years. Now, these will not necessarily be in chronological order, so just keep an eye out for the number to see what year anniversary they are celebrating.
Sioux Sanitary and Trenching Backhoe Service, owned by Dick Wolber.
Aspen Park Apartments. Manager Bill, Rick, and Randy Creesh are three brothers that own Aspen Apartments. Carol Naimani has been full-time property manager for 7 years, and last November added Joe Hausman. Carol and Joe do a 6-month share now. They both enjoy their jobs. Our biggest accomplishment is keeping our 56 units full 99% of the time and with a waiting list. We take pride in keeping the apartments up to date, inside and out.
Stockwell Engineer Incorporated. Professional civil engineer, Paul Sinow.
Julie Johnson of Remax Professionals. Realtor, Julie Johnson.
Brandon Ace Hardware. Owners, Jason and Renee Melcher and John Niederauer. Why aren't there more Smiths in Brandon? Their Platinum Level Ace store for 2014, Patriot Award recipient, and proud partner in the Brandon Expo event. They also want to recognize the other businesses and people of the community. Without their support, none of this is possible. And thanks for making the rest of us feel like garbage for not saying that. Hardware enthusiast Jill Meyer and Cheryl Erickson met up with Jason to find out more about his business.
Oh, here. What do you think, Jill? Do you think this makes my butt look big at all? Now, be honest. Jason, Cheryl Erickson, glad to have you be part of the Milestone Luncheon. We see that we actually went from coast to coast to True Value to now Ace Hardware. And they started back in 1974. So obviously, you were really young when they started, right?
Not even a glimmer, actually.
Can you kind of just tell us a little bit about your business here in town?
Well, hardware retail is number one. And then some of our niche stuff is we have a small engine repair. We do propane refills. And then we like to kind of get into the big names with Steel and Weber and Green Egg, and Craftsman has been really successful for us here. I just got done delivering softener salt. We do inflatables, we do weddings, we do graduations. We'll do pretty much whatever we can to help the customer or the community. We have straw bales for the fall and pumpkins for Halloween.
So that's all? Well, we might want to take a look and kind of go through your store a little bit and have a few questions for you. I was in earlier and Jill and I were looking and I said, where's something for the women? Do we have pink tools?
One of the things that Ace just came out with is we are now selling OPI nail polish. And what they're doing is you can buy the nail polish and you can also get the color. So you can wear the nail polish that you paint your living room or your bedroom or even your kitchen. And we also have some toolkits that are really popular around Christmas time for presents, and a couple different options. And we sell quite a few of these.
I know with every business, you always, especially something like this hardware store, you get really weird requests, some goofy. What's probably one of the goofiest things you've had a request for?
Well, we get a lot of strange requests, and we try our best to get what everybody needs. But one day we actually had a customer that asked for monkey butt powder, and I thought it was a joke, but apparently there is a product that's called the anti-monkey butt, and since we got it in, we have sold a bunch of it.
Okay, now we've made our way to the plumbing, and Jill and I were noticing here, you have a big variety of toilet seats. And the one question that really popped up is, could you get splinters from that wood?
To my knowledge, we've never had any issues with getting any splinters from those toilet seats.
All right. And like, how do you try them out when they're all hanging up on the wall? I mean, maybe I would like that, you know, kind of cushioning one.
You know, I have to admit, I've never come down this aisle and seen anybody attempting to sit on these, but we can always take them out and people bring them and we can return it. But it would be funny to see somebody come down the aisle and have them try to sit on the seats up on the shelf.
As you can see, Jason has an answer for everything. We know that you employ a lot of people here and throughout the years, and that's fabulous. We were just wondering, maybe you could introduce us to one of your employees over here.
Well, actually, and you guys didn't know this, but this is Safety Steve, and he moves around the store. Sometimes Renee, my wife, comes in early in the morning and she'll get greeted by Steve over by the door. So we like to move him around and play with him, but yeah, he kind of serves a purpose to show off the safety gear for our steel stuff, so that's kind of why I got the nickname Safety Steve.
For being a part of Brandon and the Chamber.
You bet, thank you.
Let's get back to more businesses with 20 or more years under their belt.
Risen Savior Catholic Church. Father Terry Weber is the current pastor, and he joined in July of 2010. Their accomplishments? We are blessed to have a thriving, young, and growing church. We have recently added a new digital sign and are also in the process of completing a beautiful prayer garden for our church and community members to enjoy.
Boys and Girls Club of the Sioux Empire. Amy Sumner is the interim CEO. Lisa Verdon, Marketing and PR Director. Lori Pokola. It's me, Kim White Rock, Snow Fox Swim Team. Woohoo! Oh, sorry. Lori Pokola is the School Age Program Coordinator. Boys and Girls Club of the Sioux Empire serves more than 1,400 children daily through its programs like, yes, Youth Enrichment Services, which is housed in the Brandon Elementary Schools.
Home Federal Bank. Steve Bianchi, President, CEO. Chris Bocher, AVP and Branch Manager. Cheryl Erickson, Home Loan Specialist. And Ryan Muse, Personal Banker Supervisor. Ryan Muse? Tri-Valley High School Class of 1997 Diving Team. No, that's not you. Different person. All right, and Tri-Valley didn't have a diving team? Gotcha. They sponsor a number of Brandon Valley school and community events, is the main sponsor and distributor of the Brandon Valley athletic schedules, a long, active participant with the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.
Brandon Water Softener Service. Owner, Gordy Wenzel.
George Boom Funeral Home and Cremation. Owners, Phil Schmidt, John Salzberg, Gary Mawson, Braden Schmidt, and Russ Berg. Since 1919, we have been privileged to serve the families of the Brandon and Valley Springs area. We are especially proud of our funeral chapel in Brandon. Jill and Cheryl went from the hardware store to George Boom for a Q&A session to learn more about their business.
We've always served the Brandon community. The building here was built, we had our grand opening in 2006.
Okay.
So we've been here for 8 years. Well, there's no question Brandon is a young community, but as you all know, it's growing by leaps and bounds. It's a very vibrant community, and our putting the funeral home here was not only to take care of the older folks in the Brandon Valley area now, but to plan for the future. And actually, the way the chapel here has been built, we can add another full-size chapel to the other end of the building. So as Brandon grows, the chapel can grow with it. Well, the story that I always tell is, this was many, many years ago. I had a service for a younger man, and we were finishing at the cemetery and going back to the cars. And his wife came running, wait, can you still open the casket? There's something I want to put in. And I said, yes, we can do that. So together we went to the casket, and I opened it, and she had a bottle of Corona beer that we put in with the gentleman because that was his favorite. And I was about to close the casket. She said, wait, we need this. And she gave me an opener. So I've always thought 1,000 years from now, some archaeologist is going to go tink, 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 tink. Wow, a Corona. Hey, an opener. Okay. No, the tunnel doesn't exist. We figure we can take the car. Well, the song that, and I know it's a funeral song, but it's a song everybody loves, is Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see.
Hang in there, everybody. We're about half done. Just kidding. We're not half done. And as you can see from our next clip, Kim gets a little goofy after she's been recording for an hour.
SDN Communications. Mark Shalanta is the CEO. Don Snyders is the Vice President of the Board of Directors and General Manager of our very own Alliance Communications. In attendance today is Vernon Brown, who's the VP of Marketing, and Nikki Gronley is the Marketing Specialist. Nikki? Sioux Falls Chamber, Nikki? ACCE 2013, Oklahoma City, woo! SDN Communications is a 30,000-mile statewide fiber optic network made up of South Dakota's independent telephone companies, including Brandon's Alliance Communications. SDN got their start 25 years ago when telephone companies joined their network to provide long-distance choices to customers. That network evolved and today is an information superhighway reaching into 8 states. Brandon Municipal Golf Course with Golf Pro Zane Swenson. Huset's Speedway, owned by Steve Rubin. Sioux Empire United Way. Casey McCarthy is the campaign manager.
Nordstrom's Automotive Inc. Shannon Nordstrom's the VP. Tammy Nordstrom's his wife and is a key player. Art Nordstrom is the president, CEO, or the old man that walks around in the yard out there. Marie Nordstrom's is the treasurer. Jerry Swack, CFO, and they've got 70 other wonderful staff that make it all happen. They have steady growth from a homegrown business started on a family dairy farm by Art and Marie to a highly technical and specialized facility with Shannon's leadership. Employ 76 folks and service professionals. They've got a repair shop and a do-it-yourselfer across the regions of the United States with the Nordstrom's full-service auto recycling. The E-Pullet self-service operation, the Installation and Diagnostic Center in Garrettson, and has spun off the nationally syndicated Under the Hood Show radio program. And their famous motto is PTLA.
The Brandon Valley Athletic Booster Club. President is Bob Logan. And Athletic Director, Mr. Marceau. You're 34. He's not your teacher anymore. Randy Marceau.
McGreevy Brandon Clinic is part of the Avera Medical Group. The providers in this clinic include Dr. Michelle McElroy, Dr. Richard Briggs, Dr. Darren Chester, and Aubrey Hess, PA. The clinical manager is Heather White. As a side note, please keep sending me prescriptions. We work to make a positive impact on the lives and health of persons in the community of Brandon by providing quality services guided by Christian values. The Joint Commission recently recognized the Brandon Clinic with the Gold Seal of Approval.
Brandon Plumbing and Heating. They were established by local resident Jerry Backer in 1964. In 2005, longtime employees and friends Larry Narum and Keith Backer purchased the business from Jerry. They both grew up in Brandon and have established their homes and businesses in the Brandon community. They would like to give special recognition to Roger Balster, a lead and a journeyman plumber recently celebrating 40 years with Brandon Plumbing and Heating. Brandon Plumbing and Heating is 50 years strong and committed to their customers and the communities they serve.
Oak Ridge Nursery and Landscaping Incorporated. Owners, Mike and Robin Coughlin. Part owners starting in 2008 include Damon Coughlin, Spencer Larson, and Aaron Veskna. They have numerous awards, including Chamber Business of the Year of 2000, SDNLA Landscape Award, Brandon's American Festival Couple of 2002, Parade of Homes Excellence Awards, HBA of Sioux Falls Exhibit Awards. Diana Nelson and Karen Kopel went to Oak Ridge Nursery to learn more about the history of their business.
We are here with Robin and Michael Coughlin, who own Oak Ridge Nursery here in Brandon, and they're going to tell us how they got their business started 35 years ago.
We used to live in Aberdeen. That was my first full-time job, and just read an article in the Minneapolis Tribune about a guy that did a lot of decking and construction, and immediately I knew that's what I wanted to do for a business. So Robin and I moved down here in 1979. We came across this place not even knowing Brandon was here. We came out so many different directions, and we remember going in on was East 10th or what's the...
And Madison.
Madison, and going through the oak trees and stuff on the way here, right above the Big Sioux River. And I thought that'd make a perfect setting for our name, and immediately sat down and did some kind of rough sketching and met with a sign guy, and that's how our logo and signage came to be.
I've saved every ad since we started in '79, and a funny story with that is a couple years ago we were at the Home Builders Show in Sioux Falls, and we have had as our motto on all of our advertising, specialists in outdoor living environments. Well, there was another new designer with his own company, and we had it registered, and he had something very, very similar to it. So we contacted him and said, you know, we have this trademark or whatever registered, so you know you can't use that in your advertising. Well, then he replied with, well, how do you know I didn't come up with it first? He's in his 20s. I pulled my ads out from 1979 all the way up to 2009 and sent him several copies, and it's like, you weren't even born yet when I started using that. And that's the last that we heard from it. He quit using it.
So. They were having an auction out in their field of all this old machinery. And I went by and heading to the lake, and I got halfway down the road, and I thought, you know, that elevator would make the neatest thing out in the front yard, you know, and plant it up and stuff like that. So on my way back from the lake, I stopped at Burton's, and I said, so did you sell that elevator? And he says, yeah, for $5. He says, somebody's going to scrap it out. And I says, I'll give you 10 for it. You know, if I could take it. He says, you can take it then, $10.
Oh,
so I went and got the old pickup and pulled it home here. And kind of told Robin, I says, what I'm going to do with it. And she said, oh my God, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. So anyway.
I said, you're not putting that in the front yard in front of the nursery. That's going to look ridiculous.
So anyway, it sat back here for 2 years, and finally I says, that's it. I'm putting it up. I'm going to do what I want to do with it. And she said, I suppose it's going to look like shit. Anyway, so I put it up there and we planted it with petunias, and honestly, it made the front page of the Brandon paper. We have people stopping all the time along the road. They jump out, take pictures in front of it. So I mean, it's been one of the best things we've done for advertising. So
I had to eat my words on that one.
How do you get your plants to grow so well here at Oak Ridge Nursery?
Well, a little tender loving care. We have names for all of them. This is actually a Annabelle hydrangea, but we call him Andy. So it grows a lot better when you know them by name, and treat them kind of personable too. And a little bit of some other tender loving care, everything else.
And it helps
to have a green thumb too. You have to have those visions, is what you have to have.
Well, he's the dreamer. He's full of dreams and stuff. It's just sometimes getting somebody then to fulfill the dream is the thing.
I could go another lifetime and never fulfill all the dreams I have for here. So.
All right, we only have one left. Let's go to Kim and find out who the oldest member celebrating a milestone is this year.
And finally, our oldest member celebrating a milestone this year is Palisade Lutheran Church. Pastor Ray Heidenson. The church is located in rural Garrettson, South Dakota. Some of their projects for this year are Adopt a Highway program, which is walking the ditches and picking up the garbage along the highway located next to the church. Go Do Something Good, giving members $25 to go do something good with it. God's Work, Our Hands. T-shirts were handed out with God's Work, Our Hands on the front and Palisade Lutheran Church on the back. They will wear these shirts whenever they're involved in church-sponsored activities. Recently, they held a God's Work, Our Hands Sunday to create awareness of the many mission items being donated and assembled by members. They displayed many things such as quilts, school kits, baby kits, nursing kits, and many other items. New and exciting things are happening at Palisade Lutheran Church.
All right, that's it. Thank you to everyone who helped make this video, and also thank you very much from the Chamber to all the businesses who have supported us for such a long time. Thank you so much, and have a great day.